Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for returning. There are some of you who had been so loyal and who almost built up your own community within this community. Yes, I'm talking about someone like Yorkshire Girl, and then there are also a few others like Maria and so on. And you know what? I love it. I only need to look around me to see how many people are lonely and just needs 5 minutes of conversation or some positive input. And I believe that you chatting to each other, recognizing each other, just saying hi or wishing each other the best of luck or a good day is doing just that. It fills a tiny gap in a person's life. Okay, let's talk royals, not so royal Monte shit show and everything else that we are currently thinking about. I have a very short comment to make regarding Meghans' "oh my gosh, there are ducks" video. Firstly, the older she gets, the uglier she gets. Now, I'm not being nasty because I believe that I myself did not age well and that I'm an ugly old woman. Luckily, it does not bother me much because other than Dragonman's activities, this channel and my daughter's activities, I have little to no social interaction. My dog loves me, the township dogs love me, so a wrinkle or two more makes no difference. In Megan's case, it is not the wrinkles or the olive oil hairstyle I'm talking about, it's the ugliness from within, the fakeness, the inauthenticity, the scheming, the acting, just about everything. If someone should come tell me tomorrow that she's an alien in a bodysuit pretending to be human, I would indeed believe it. Anyway, I found the duck video very odd. She comes out of the bushes barefoot, just as the mommy duck and her ducklings waddles past, and lo and behold, there is someone ready and waiting to film it. No, I'm not falling for it, but there's something else. She's obviously not wearing her huge clip-on veneers, and that huge gaping black hole makes me think of The Scream by Edward Munch. Quite scary, I would say. Even more scary for the poor ducks, I think. What I also think is that Megan's mental health issues are getting worse, and again, I'm not being nasty, nor am I joking. If you had worked with and analysed Meghan Markle day in and day out for just over 6 years, then you do notice when something is off. How many of you, for instance, have noticed how much her voice has changed? Before they left, and even during the Oprah interview, Megan's voice was a lot deeper with a very prominent vocal fry. Now she tends to speak in what sounds like an attempt to emulate the voice of a 6-year-old. Only when she is irritable does her voice go lower and the vocal fry pop out again. Quite honestly, I find the overexcited, higher little girl voice far more irritating than the lower vocal fry voice. The "I'm too sexy for my shirt," "I'm so sexy it hurts" voice. Right, said Fred. Now fuck off, Megan, and stop scaring the ducks. Okay, so let me join this speculation. Where is Harry? Because Megan pops out of the bushes to watch the spectacle of a mama duck and her ducklings, but why didn't she call the children to come and look? She obviously knew the ducks were there because she tiptoed out. So why didn't she call the children to join her? And who was holding the camera? Harry? Or someone else, a bodyguard or a security guard? If it was Harry, then where are the children? If it was someone else, then where is Harry? So a week ago, Hello magazine screamed it all over their front pages. Meghan Markle's epic Easter egg hunt for Archie and Lilibet. So why are we seeing old Meg the Scream Markle alone scaring the ducks? Of course, Meghan released the video to coincide with the royals' Easter Sunday and the numerous news items about the King's speeches and Easter messages and Eugenie's beautiful look. And don't forget Andrew's attendance of the Easter Sunday service. Like that was the most important news across the universe. For Pete's sake, let a 63-year-old man go to church if he wants to. All the headlines. Why did the king invite Andrew to the service? No, he didn't. Anne did. Why did Anne do that? Because Andrew is a brother. And no, Charles did not invite Andrew to Easter lunch. Andrew, Sarah, Eugenie and Jack returned to Royal Lodge straight from the service. I'm not sure about Beatrice and Edo, but I would assume they also joined Andrew and Fergie. The family is as divided, I'm talking about the royal family, not the Yorks, are as divided as ever, with Edward and Sophie in the middle. Because Meghan, the Scream Markle, popped out of the woods alone, everyone is speculating that Harry and the children were in England for Easter. Of course, this would tie in nicely with William and Catherine deciding to stay in Norfolk for Easter. However, I'll be honest, I did not hear a word or even a hint about Harry and his children being in England. I did indeed put feelers out after hearing Paula M's video, but one of the people said, not that she knows of. She also did not hear anything, any gossip about him being there. My other go-to for information has not replied yet, but you know, he does not sit around and wait for me to ask something. He may still reply. Or not, we'll see. I, however, do not think that Harry was in England, and highly doubtful that he was there with his children. I think William and Catherine decided to stay in Norfolk because it is relaxing. Her parents are calm and homely, and they help with the children. No drama, no fuss. We should also remember that both Catherine's parents are themselves in their 70s, not exactly spring chickens. Where Charles is surrounded by his wife and her children, his sister, his youngest brother and wife, security, valets, cooks and bottle washers, the Middletons are just a family. I can actually understand William and Catherine choosing this for themselves and their children. Maybe their decision has something to do with a bit of animosity between William and Charles and William and Camilla, and maybe even with Uncle Andrew attending. But I think it maybe contributed 5 or 10% to his decision. From what I heard, William is rather fed up with a lot of things and not just family, and he would choose spending time with his wife and kids in Norfolk, 100% above and over the pomp and ceremony of royal events. Everyone likely knows by now that William will be attending the Pope's funeral on behalf of the royal family on Saturday. Although everyone is saying it is protocol for the king not to attend the Pope's funeral, I don't think that is exactly true. Yes, indeed, the Queen may have set a precedent where she asked Charles, the then Prince of Wales, to attend Pope John Paul's funeral in 2005, likely because she felt it would be a little awkward for her as the head of a Protestant church to attend. But in 2013, the same Queen Elizabeth II lifted all restrictions regarding marriage to a Catholic, losing position in the line of succession due to Catholicism, etc., etc. And besides, Charles is like a walking billboard for Islam, and Catholicism is actually closer to the Protestant faith than Islam. So no, I don't think it's that. Quite frankly, I think that is a Buckingham Palace spin. And like I said in a previous video, Buckingham Palace has been spinning so many excuses and BS lately that I mostly roll my eyes at anything they have to say. I personally think Charles is trying to avoid someone who will be there, and my guess would be that he is trying to avoid Trump as much as possible, even though he invited him on an official visit. But that would be at the insistence of Parliament or the government. Trump has indeed confirmed his attendance at the funeral, so I think it was Parliament's decision that William attends, because it appears that William and Trump get along just fine and has mutual respect for one another. I also believe that, or I read that Macron, King Philippe and Queen Letitia, the Brazilian President Luiz da Silva, and Volodymyr Zelensky will attend the funeral. Now, I may not be doing myself any favors by saying this, but the longer Zelensky stays in the limelight, the less I like him. Actually, I read a good joke somewhere. I think it was on Twitter. They say Zelensky was a comedian, or then a clown, who became president of a country. Harry was a prince of a country who became a clown. Anyway, guys, I'm having a bit of a tough time at the moment for a number of reasons, and one in particular which is in a way related to this channel. So I am, as from today, going to revamp my other channel. I'm going to keep the name, but I am going to link it to a different email, and we are going to produce slightly different content along the mystery lines. It will take a week or so to get it all done, and on that channel you will not only hear my voice, you will not only hear my voice, as content will from time to time be presented by someone else. I will also be back on Rumble with specially produced videos once a week or once every second week. Although I will still be behind it all, I won't always be on the forefront of it. So we'll see what happens and how it happens over the next week or two. I will keep you updated. This channel will continue as is for now, and if there are to be any changes, we will inform you, but no changes are planned for now. Okay, guys, so while I work on my life and work, I want you to stay safe and look after yourselves and each other. Bye.